We would prepare a bid to furnish air distribution equipment. We would prepare a bid to furnish and install a temperature control system. And then there would usually be a bid time established, and it might be, say, on a Thursday at 2 p.m. And that was a favorite time because it gave, there would be thousands of people who were bidding products and services up the chain to the final bid point. And usually this was before cell phones, and the general contractor would set up a direct line to the bid room, back to his office, and they would be taking bids from maybe 10 subcontractors: mechanical, electrical, plumbing, sheet metal, and the different subcontractor specialties. We would be bidding to so there might be 7 or 8 mechanicals. I don't know how many electricals, there might be 100 people bidding to the general contractors, and then there would be people like us who would be bidding to the mechanical contractors and the different, so there was a whole chain. There would be literally thousands of people involved in bidding up to this point. And the reason they had a direct line, was that bids would change very quickly in the hour or so before the bid opening. One of our problems would be that some of the contractors were very friendly to us and that we had worked with. There were other contractors who were not so friendly, and there were others who were enemies. So we had to bid to, say, 8 contractors, and if I put out a bid too early and to everyone, I knew that Honeywell would pick up my bid and would just undercut my bid. So we would hold back until the last possible moment to put a price out. And usually the contractors at about 10 o'clock would start to get exciting. They had to put their bids together to pass it on, and they would ask for give me a plug price, give me a plug price. So we'd put out a plug price, and then we would have to develop strategies of bidding in order to not have our price tipped off. And one of strategies that I usually used was that about 11 o'clock I would start out, I would call the contractor that I least trusted and put out a price and sit back and 10 minutes later I would call the second contractor and give him a price. 10 minutes later call, and then I would have a friendly contractor who would, and I would ask that, tell me when Honeywell comes out. So I could usually tell which of the contractors was tipping my price. And this would be information which would be of use in the future. And then I would also be working to get prices of the other contractors, and at the last, and sometimes even at 1:45, we would be changing our price to the contractors, and we'd be putting out different prices to different contractors.
So how did you keep records of all of this? I mean, all these calls are coming in and out and changing things on the fly.
A list, and I was keeping a track of the time I gave, who I called, the time, and the price I gave him. And then I might call another contractor, give him a different price, just to see 2 things I could tell: who was tipping my price, and and at what price Honeywell came out at. Because if I tipped my price two different prices out to a contractors, and they came out under one of them, but not under the other one. This helped me know which of the contractors was tipping my price.
And who was tipping other prices to you? Who was tipping either Honeywell's or Johnson's prices to you?
Well, there were contractors that we developed close relationships with, and contractors that we had worked with that we knew were honest and who paid on time and who were easy to work with. We would favor them over some contractor that who was disorganized in his work and cost us money because he was calling us out at the wrong times and so forth. So we had our friends and established relationships with them, and they were interested in getting cheaper prices from us because that helped them get their bid.
It sounds like a wild system, those bidding days.
Bid day was not for Sissies.